I have two gentlemen sitting in the studio with me right now who are itching to leave to get on their bicycles to go to Hamilton. Why? Well, because it's part of their 50-day fundraising ride across the country. 4,500 kilometers to benefit Special Olympics. And we welcome to Dawson Lucier and Trevor Rice. Thanks for coming in, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate you taking time off your ass.
Yeah, we too.
Yeah, I guess. This is whose idea was this?
This was my idea. I heard of Motionball for Special Olympics at a university conference back in March, and a few of the Special Olympics athletes were giving a presentation. It was really moving, really inspiring, so I went down and had a conversation with a few of them after, and the idea just kind of stemmed from there. And I knew Trevor was the only person crazy enough to do this with me, so I asked him, and then everything fell into place really nicely.
What is Motionball?
Motionball is a bunch of different things. Motionball is a non-for-profit that essentially raises funds and fundraises for Special Olympics Canada. So Special Olympics is not Paralympics. It has to do with intellectual disabilities,
sure,
not physical disabilities. But they do a lot of the fundraising for things like renting field space and team jerseys and referees and all that. The costs associated with running sports like that.
And when you watched the presentation, it's pretty touching.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So, I mean, we see this right now in the Olympics, right? Sport really has the power to have a real human connection with people, and it is a real catalyst for a lot of people in social development and teamwork and leadership and all those skills you learn playing sports that we both benefited from growing up. It's something that we think everybody deserves the opportunity to have.
Now, you're kinesiology students at McMaster University.
Yeah.
What are your plans after you graduate?
I'm hoping to do physio after this.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 2-year grad program. We'll see where it goes from there.
Yeah.
I've still got 2 years left, so I got some time to figure that out.
Physiotherapist?
Yeah, I think so.
Sports therapist?
We'll see.
Like that?
Yeah.
Good. Could have used you a couple of weeks ago, and I fell on my ribs. The idea of traveling 4,500 kilometers is, for most people, mind-boggling. It's just, and you can't really wrap your head around it. Clearly, you don't just do this and get on the bike and keep going. How many kilometers do you do per day?
Well, today's a little bit of a shorter day. We're only going to Hamilton. Typically, I think we're averaging about 105, 110 kilometers a day.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty well straight. We've had 3 rest days sort of by accident in Winnipeg because we had a bike malfunction. But aside from that, 100 kilometers a day, you can...
No, you just didn't want to leave.
Yeah. You can think of it sort of an hour in a car is a day on the bike.
An hour in a car is a day on the bike?
Yeah. Works out to about 100K.
So how fast would you be going then?
It
20,
depends.
30 kilometers an hour?
We're closer to the 20 for sure with loaded gear. We're in the saddle for anywhere from 5 to 8 hours depending on the size of the day. We've done a 200-kilometer day, and that was close to 8 hours in the saddle. So, yeah.
So it's not just the two of you. Do you have a van that follows you? Or no,
it is just the two of us. I mean,
but what if you get a flat tire or something?
We have had several flat tires.
Yeah, you're able to repair them on the road. So just take the wheel off. We got some spare inner tubes, and just make the tube change on the side of the road, and then off we go.
Yeah. That being said, though, we're stopping in every city across Canada that has a Motionball chapter. So this nonprofit is spread really across Canada, has a really big presence in all the big cities. So in Kelowna, Calgary, Saskatoon, Winnipeg, and now Toronto, we're meeting in each city all these chapters and the event directors that run all these fundraising initiatives and the athletes and stuff.
How can people donate to this?
Go online to motionball.com/biking home.
Do you have a specific amount in mind?
Yeah.
Or just whatever we can get, we get?
Well, we're at 7,000 right now, and our goal is 10,000. So let's hope the last bit trickles in before we get to Hamilton.
Yeah, are you getting good response from people on the road?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing too is raising funds is great. But at the end of the day, we're really just trying to raise awareness for Motionball and sort of get that name out there, because we meet a lot of people on the road and they're like, oh, what's this bike ride for? And we tell them Motionball, maybe they haven't heard of it, so we can kind of explain to them what Motionball does exactly. And so that, like, for us is the biggest part, and especially with a bike ride, and as Dawson said, we stop in so many cities. We're able to have sort of that wide range. We can reach a lot of people at different places throughout the country. So just being able to raise awareness for the cause and, you know, have it like a household name so that people know what it is.
The logistics must have taken you a fair amount of time to figure out, okay, how do we get from this city to this city? What highway do we take? And when you've done that, do you then need to notify, say, the Ontario Police Force, the OPP, and say, look, can we ride on this highway?
Yeah, so there's actually...
Like the 401 doesn't have a bike lane.
No, you're not allowed to ride on any 400 series highways in Ontario.
Good.
There's a few highways in BC as well that are no bikes allowed. And there actually are like quite a few people that do this trip from Vancouver all the way to St. John's. We're stopping in Hamilton, so we're not doing the full leg, but quite a few people that do this trip annually. So a lot of these towns that we stop in along the way are very familiar with seeing cycle tourists go by. So for instance, in Blind River or in a few other towns in Northern Ontario, there really isn't a parallel route you can take. You have to go on the one highway. So people are familiar with cyclists, and people are really hospitable as well, and really welcoming, I guess.
Well, what's it been like dealing with the heat?
You know what? We've actually been pretty lucky. I heard you guys here have had a pretty tough run the last few weeks.
31 days of 30 degrees plus.
Well, it looks like today's pretty hot, so at least we're going to get the lake breeze coming off Lake Ontario when we go to Hamilton.
Well, I guess you do at least get a breeze as you're cycling. You're not...
Exactly.
Not like
you know what? It's hotter if you stay still. You got to have the breeze. Except if the breeze is coming at your back, then it doesn't feel like any wind's going at all.
And where do you stay when you land in these different cities?
So we've stayed in various places. So I mean, as Dawson mentioned, a lot of the big cities, they have Motionball chapters. So the Motionball teams across the country have been really welcoming. You know, they'll let us stay at their place or at least in their backyard or something like that, which has been great. And in addition, some cities we've met some people on the road they've let us stay with them. But if not, we have a tent in the back of the trailer, so we just pitch our tent wherever we can find some space. Yeah.
You have a trailer?
I carry the trailer on the back of my bike, and then Trevor has the 2 pannier bags.
What are pannier bags?
Pannier bags are like
saddlebags?
Yeah, saddlebags on the side of the wheel.
Right, and you carry food with you as well, I take it.
For the most part, during the long stretches we have to, but I mean it's actually pretty populated for the most part along the main Trans-Canada route through Canada, so we're never too far out of civilization. I mean, there's stretches, but usually there's a store, a grocery store, and we can just kind of eat on the go.
Yeah. But you want to make sure that you're not eating, Oreos.
Yeah. Well, I thought you were going to say peanut butter jars and bagel sleeves. We've had way too many of those.
Yeah. Well, you need as much protein as you can get, I guess. Right?
For sure.
And what do you drink? What's in your water bottle? Is it just plain water, or is it?
On a hot day, we'll put some electrolytes in. We'll put some electrolytes in the water on a hot day. We got to kind of be mindful of that, especially when the weather starts to get hot. So today we'll probably be putting some of that in there, but generally just water. Have
you been joined by any of the other cycling clubs during your trip? And I ask that only because I saw when I see them every Saturday when I drive into the station. I come from Mississauga, and there'd be like 4, 5, 6, sometimes 10. Yeah, we actually haven't met up with any cycling clubs along the way, but quite a few other cyclists who are doing this trip as well. Do they join you? Oh yeah, we go for 3 or 4 days together, and then we'll split ways. A few folks from Quebec we were cycling with, and tons of people you meet on the road when you're traveling like that, for sure. Terrific. Yeah. My hat's off to you guys. Thank you. Good for you. So again, if people want to donate to assist the Special Olympics, you go to motionball.com/bikinghome. Yep. And there you can make a donation. And I hope you get to the 10,000. You're at 7,000 now. Again, all the best to you. Enjoy Hamilton. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Stuff welcome home, yeah. Dawson Lucier and Trevor Rice on the road for a good cause.